Hey guys, and welcome to the Fish Room. I'm Rachel O'Leary, and today I'm pretty excited because I just bought the first fish to quarantine to add to my 150-gallon Hillstream aquarium. Now, one of the things that I like to do is really keep in touch with my customers that are more advanced breeders, and from time to time I'll just check in and see what they've gotten to spawn, if they have anything new and exciting, because a lot of times these Hillstream species are pretty hard to source, but a lot of them are very breedable, and today's fish is no exception. These are Rhinogobius species maize face. The Rhinogobius I have in 150 currently are the scarlet goby. These aren't quite as flashy, but they're really cool. They get a bit bigger. So I contacted a gentleman who I've sold to quite a bit in the past, who works with a lot of these species, and he got these in 2018. I believe it was the first import into the United States, and these are some of his offspring. I will put a link down in the description to his aquabid in case any of you are interested in getting any of these, because they're really cool. Anyway, so I ordered them, he shipped them to me, they came, I opened up the box, the heat pack was still nice and warm, the fish were all really active. So I did what I typically do, which is a plop and drop acclimation, put them into a quarantine tank to observe, and we'll take a look at them here shortly. I'm excited because I got in some new fish for the 150-gallon Hillstream. Now, if you're new here, that is a high-flow aquarium full of small fish, mainly from Southeast Asia, but also some from the United States, like the shiners that are in there. And because it's a big aquarium, I quarantine for quite a while whenever I get new fish for it. And these are tank-raised Rhinogobius mask face. Now, I've never even seen them before in person. They're not a formally described species. They get a bit larger than the other scarlet gobies that I have in the aquarium, but I think they're going to be a fantastic addition. Fantastic, fantastic fish. And so we'll take a look at them here in a second, but all I'm doing right now is this tank's been sitting empty, has a cycled filter in it. I just cleaned up some of the algae that was in it and did a water change. It's basically a bare tank with a handful of sand and a mat of water sprite, and again, sponge filtration. And that's really all there is to it for quarantine. I tend to keep things pretty bare so that I can actually monitor the fish, see what they're eating, see how they're eating, and also be able to monitor their feces for anything that looks abnormal, to know if I need to do some sort of fecal exam under my microscope. And then we'll let them loose. I don't tend to acclimate. I have a whole video about that I can link you guys to, or if you just search Rachel O'Leary acclimation, I am very much of the mind that plop and drop is better, especially because these guys took 4 days to get to me, so I want to get them out of this water and into clean water as quickly as possible. No, they don't look at all stressed. They're packaged beautifully. The heat pack was still warm, so I don't anticipate any issues, but rather safe than sorry, so I always quarantine. Now, because these fish came from someone I know, they are tank raised, I'll probably do a month of health before adding them back to the Hillstream. When I'm getting in wild fish, which is most often for the stuff that goes into that aquarium, I do a quarantine of 6 months of health. That's because it's a big volume to have to medicate should anything go wrong. And there's a lot of fish in there that I just plain cannot get again, so I don't want to risk their health. So I ordered 8 of these little gobies, and it looks to be some males and females. They're not going to look like a whole lot today when we take a look, but trust me, they're very nice fish. They're already eating pretty well. I offered them some frozen baby brine, and it brought all the fish to my yard. They're not fully colored up yet. These are still young fish. They're only maybe 1.5 inches or so. And since they're a larger species, they'll probably get to close to 3.5 inches, I believe. So I wanted to put them in quarantine, not just to observe their health, but also to observe their behavior, as a lot of the fish in the 150 here are a bit smaller, especially the Stiphodons. So I want to make sure that they don't seem particularly aggressive before I add them to the aquarium. Now, I have a few friends that are working with them as well, and by all reports, they seem to be a pretty mild-mannered fish, so I think they should fit in well with all these various inhabitants in the 150-gallon. And I have to tell you guys, I'm super excited to get started on adding to the stock of this aquarium. It truly is one of my favorites, and now that it's moved so that it's at eye level, I just can't stop watching it. Anyway, I hope that you guys will continue to follow me on this journey of finishing this aquarium. I have new plants coming in soon. I have these fish in quarantine, and I've got a lot of exciting things coming up. As always, thank you so much for your continued support, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing my new fish.